everybody. How you doing on this lovely Tuesday? And we always started off with this self-care check podcast with, do you care about your self-care?
Yes!
Yes. So we always going to keep that morale as always, because self-care your self-care is important. Yes. Not just for us to see that you're taking care of it or on the ball of your self-care, yes, but knowing that you care for your self-care. And this is also Women's Appreciation Month ending episode. And to end it off, we're going to end it strong with our mama of the house, Lois. Yes. How you doing, Lois?
I'm doing well.
Oh, man. When I asked you, were you willing to do this episode, how you felt on the inside? Because your face said something else.
Well, you know one thing? I usually wasn't good at speaking. So now as I come here, I learned to speak a little more. So I got really familiar with just speaking according.
There's that. Well, yes. With that in mind, I put this podcast with me and my team. We put a little something together, for you to speak to the women out there, because you're a conqueror in your own right. You're a conqueror in your own, not just in your own understanding, but the understanding which the Father has given you to stand firmly on. And I know I see it, and I accept it, and I respect it. You know, because you give it in the sense of as a mother does. Like even with the saying that we have for today's podcast, the Father says that women are created in His image, a helper and partner, worthy and valuable. Equal in Christ, they are called to do good works in marriage, motherhood, or leadership. And you actually fill every role, you know? I mean, you ain't married to me, but you've been married. You've been married, and your motherhood extends through this room, through this building, this facility, and even into the streets, for the outreaches in which you do for the people that you care for and show love, agape love towards, and helping them in their endeavors in life. How, when you do those, how did that, like, what's in you when you do that?
Well, it's nothing but love. You know, it came from when I was young, how my mother and my grandparents, how they used to love on us, how to take care of us, how to teach us how to work and how to earn our keepings. You know, we didn't have time to sit around the house. Even though we was young, we was always out doing something. It wasn't nothing but cleaning the yard.
Kept them busy.
Busy.
So for the first question of this podcast, for all women, and even for me as a man just listening to a woman, for our first question, how can a woman rebuild her life after the loss of a child? And is it possible to ever feel whole again while caring for that loss?
Well, the first thing I would say, you know, like I'm going back to the Bible days. First, you have to pray a lot. Number one, that's your first priority, is to pray, because our kids is just only temporarily. They're not here forever. We are not here forever, and I know it's going to hurt, but we all got to know that God is in control, and we just have to try to keep asking Him and praying and get help, seek help, friends, family members, talk to them, you know, and see how, you know, you can work this thing out, because there is a greater ending.
So basically, for the women out there to find a focus group on these matters, yes, and stick to it, because we here in the self-care field, or just caring for people, mental, it's even in NA classes, having a group that you can go to, someone who's your mentor or your sponsor, someone that you can reach out to who's been in this situation. Right. It's always best to go for someone that's been in that and stepped out of it. And even if they're not in that situation but stood with those that were, it's always great to turn to those people, because they not just have the best words for you, but the advice is firm and it's solid, and it holds true, because they don't just see you in pain, they've been in that pain.
Yes. Just don't give up.
Yes. So that was thank you for that answer. So we're going to turn to the audience and ask the audience, a separate question, but still on the that was for the guests in the room. We'll have a question out to the audience, and then we're gonna bring it into the room for the audience. How can a woman empower herself to set boundaries and prioritize self-care even when society or family expectations seem to place the needs of others over their own?
He got a hand right here.
Okay.
As we all know, society is a crazy place for us all. So, I just believe the importance of women just knowing, I don't want to use the words, but for lack of better terms, her place as a woman and the importance in today's society and all societies across the world. I feel like as long as there's a woman around that knows her place and knows the importance, have that self-value and the importance in society, that I think that we all come together as better people. I don't think that a room full of, let's just say, men, eventually we become destructive. So having women who's supportive and knows their role and knows their leadership qualities, that's very important in us taking the next step in journey and put into progression.
Any women? Lois gonna read it. No, that one.
How can I empower myself to set boundaries and prioritize self-care, even when society or family expectation seem to place the needs of others above my own?
Any women willing to answer that?
And that's putting other needs before yours?
No.
Is that what you say?
No.
How can I empower myself to set boundaries and prioritize self-care, even when society or family expectation seems to place the need of others above my own?
I think that caring for yourself is a part of caring for others is a part of self-care, though. In order for you to kind of know your own self-value, sometimes it kind of, you have to take a look at the people that's around you.
Yeah.
So as long as you're empowering yourself and caring about yourself it's going to reflect on other people, because there's but so long that that people could be held to a negative impact knowing that they got somebody positive around them. So I think the light always overcomes the darkness. So.
And I have had, it said to me, of doing a lot for others, like my family. But I do self-care. I always keep my self-care, but if I see there's a need for someone in my family, I'm going to be there. I'm going to always be there if I can, in whatever way I can help. But my self-care is number one. That's my priority. I'm going to keep that up for me, so I can stay sane and do what I have to do for me and the others.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
It's another.
And I totally agree with my sister, because self-care is so important, because if I'm not taking care of me, I cannot be there for you. You know what I mean? And sometimes, and I'm saying me, because I've been in a situation where I'm loving you and losing me. I'm putting you first and not taking care of myself, and that's not good either. So you definitely have to take care of yourself in order to be able to be there for someone else. But just like she said, if my kids or somebody's going through something, I'm gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? But if I can't, I'm gonna let them know, like, if mommy could be there, she would be there, but so and so and so, you know what I mean? But again, self-care is so important, for real. And I thank God for the women that are in my life that show that support. If I need it, I could pick that phone up and call them or whatever. But again, it's just awesome to be able to be there for others, giving back what was so freely given to you. Yeah.
So Lois, can you tell us, like, from based off of the question that you just read, like, your insight on that?
From other people's expectation, it doesn't necessarily have to, be in your guidelines. So you have to look, you might have to take something away, but your expectation overall could matter the most. Because sometimes they might tell you something that, like that you don't see where they're going, but you have to find your way sometime. But it's always good to listen.
Yes. Thank you. And I'm gonna listen to everyone's cry, everyone's plea. And I'm speaking for me as a man, because even though I'm not a woman, this question still stands for even me, because there are people that turn to me for help, turn for me for financial guidance and stuff. So and sometimes I have to weigh that out based on how I seen my mom handle that as well, because how I seen her handle it shows me how I may or may not want to handle it. Even though I'm a man, there's still things that are don't have no bounds of gender. As far as taking care of yourself, you don't. I mean, it's different, but the thing that is the same is the initiative to go and get it done. Don't put off for tomorrow. It's today. Do it today. The deadline is that deadline. Start it now, so then it gets easier towards the closing time of turning it in. But
Absolutely.
we're going to jump into the next question. How do I continue to heal from the lack of support I faced, and is there a way to forgive those, is there a way to forgive those who didn't help me when I needed it the most?
There is a way. Like I say, you got to, think long and hard. You got to see where you're coming from. You got to look at the perspective of where they're at. And you also got to look up to your greater power. You got to keep yourself in prayer, and ask people for help. As much help as you can get, try to seek help.
Thank you. And the question goes for the audience. How do I continue to heal from the lack of support I face? And is there a way to forgive those who didn't help me when I needed it the most? And you can use a scenario that of a situation if you would like.
One way is to always realize, there's always help out there. Sometimes you just got to search for it. Sometimes that help is not within the circle that you're around currently. Mm-hmm. So there's always help, and you just got to always be open-minded to seeking out that help. You always got to be open-minded to seeking out answers to any type of problems that you might be dealing with. And as far as forgiving people, I think for me, it's best to understand that everybody is not in a position to help you, and everybody cannot provide the assistance that you might need. So sometimes you might need to go seek some professional help. Yeah. We come from a place where a lot of people do have problems where they come from. Even though some of them are unresolved, and we might just say things like, "Oh, well, you're grown, get over it." Well, some things aren't just that easy to get over with, and ultimately it will come out and show somewhere else at the most unopportunistic time. So.
Anyone? No. Thank you. Ooh, it's a little rough out here. But I appreciate everyone who's answering and everyone who has an answer to give, because for me, I would say, as far as continuing to heal of the lack of support, it's an ongoing thing. It's an everyday thing, because some days I just want to be like, forget it, but I know I have to keep pressing forward, because it's for me to keep going forward, and it's for the future. When I get to that point, from this point to that point, the next point, it's really hard to just want to just keep going. It's really like, I want to stop. No, I got to keep going. And even with the forgiveness, I look at my mom, I look at my grandmother, I look at all, and the reason why I say the women, because me as a man, my way of forgiving you is so different from how I see my mom forgive somebody. Like, my mom will go and talk to you and forgive you. Me? Bye. I'm not gonna waste my time. Not knowing that the fact that I didn't come back and speak to you, I'm holding that in later. And I'm still I'm eating myself up about the fact that I didn't let out what I needed to let you know. Because I wanted to know, why didn't you help me? Or why couldn't you help me? Or when you said that you was gonna help me, what happened on your end, for situations like that. But like Tahim said, it's different situations. You don't know. Yes, and in the end, that was my main objective. I wanted that healing for myself, and I speak from my story for this question is for everyone out there. Keep digging. Don't stop digging for the truth. Even when you want to quit, and I'm saying this for myself. Even when I wanted to quit, I knew I had to keep digging. Because in here is what's being shown right now. There's still more to dig, but it's more being shown because of the appreciation I saw from my mother, for my mother, and from the women here in this facility. More is coming out each and every day.
Keep pressing on. Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, before we go, you want to read that last one?
Keep pressing
And
on.
answer it. The last one.
How can women use this unique experience, strength, and voices to advocate for the change they wish to see in the world, inspiring future generation to continue the work? Never give up. Number one, never give up, no matter how hard it seems, because right now I'm going through a little task myself. Just remember that you are always a conqueror, because in the Bible it says that if you keep the love going, you can conquer anything.
To anyone out there.
Safe answer. That's a good title right there. Since my mother died, I've been dead, whatever. I've been struggling. Especially, I know what I need to do, and I know that I don't have to give up. Right? It's never too late to go back to school, and that's my plan. Getting my own place, because ain't nothing like your own, right? I want things in life. And the things, when my mother was trying to tell me to get my education, now I'm like taking heed to that. You know what I'm saying? What if I would have did it? Would I would be sitting in this chair right now? You get what I'm saying? But one thing, I always wanted to go into service. She didn't want me to do that. And I say to myself, maybe if she would have let me go into the army, maybe I'd be a better woman than I am now. But I can't say that neither, because it's never too late. I could be that best woman, like being independent, being on my own. I don't have to depend on nobody. Holding my own. And I want that. And you said forgiving? I forgive, right? When I was that little girl, I forgive. But I never forget. And then when the turnaround happened to me the second time, I forgave him, but I just want to ask him, why did you do that to me? Why? Because he been to destroy my life. It damaged me. I ain't even been in an unhealthy relationship because I won't let that man in. And I'm still struggling with that. But you know what? I talk about it today. I'm getting better with that today. Better. I'm growing. Because one day, that man gonna come to me. I ain't gonna come to him. He gonna come to me. You know what I'm saying? So I stayed stuck. I used to use, live to use, and use to live. That's my story. Like Dr. Moody said, I stayed in an abandoned building. That was my comfort zone. Family members, my mother, I didn't understand why she was the way she was when it come down to her family. Calling her from North Carolina, whatever. Now I know. Now I know.
Wow. Is there another? Well,
You're not finished yet. There's more to come. Yeah. You can do it.
any last words, Lois, for this
Like,
podcast?
it's for Sarah. I'm just gonna just say something to you, Sarah. From the time that you walk through these doors, I see a great change, and you can do it. I know you can. There's still help out there, and with your continuous, working the way you are going, you can get where you need to be. And just don't give up. And that's for everybody out there. You're going through something, don't give up.
Don't.
Continue seeking, continue asking, and you'll be okay.
Well, you heard it from the lovely woman of this house, the lovely mother of this house, the spiritual mother of this house, to all of you women out there,
Yes.
and even you men.
And gentlemen.
Do you care about your self-care?
Yes.